rather do? The crowd, a massive noise, what you think's a massive noise, or would you much rather see crowd?
No, what we say, Frank, I think it's a different atmosphere is what we're agreed on here. Because, for example, when Simon and I were ringside at Fury White, it was one hell of an atmosphere that night here in London. And it's not the same. Our perception is it's not the same coming out of Riyadh.
It was two British guys fighting each other. That's what it was. That's what it was. You know, I've got to. It's pretty. I don't want to get. It's a pretty ridiculous conversation I'm having here. They were good fights. I'm into boxing. I'm into fights. You're into listening to crowds. I mean, you know.
No, Frank, cut it out, Frank. That's not true, Frank.
I've got to tell you, I've got better things to do with my time than to have a debate about.
How did you think AJ came through it, Frank?
Sorry?
How do you think AJ came through it then on the night?
I just said at the start of it, I thought he'd done extremely well. I thought he'd done what he had to do. And as far as the public concerned, he's resurrected his career. There's no doubt about that. As I said, you know, Walling, I did expect a bit more for him, but he didn't allow him into the fight. He'd done a job on him. He was punched perfectly.
I don't know if we learned anything about Anthony in that fight, because the one accusation that people make of him is that when it gets a bit hot in the kitchen, he doesn't want to be there anymore. And Walling didn't bring anything like that. Is it because Anthony didn't allow him to, or because Walling wasn't what we thought he was going to be?
I think it's a bit of both, Simon. I think it's a bit of both. I think he actually, you know, I think Walling didn't get into the fight. I don't, you know, it started off a bit. I mean, the first couple of rounds were a bit, you know. I mean, you know, there was a
tentative.
But then when he got into it, AJ started picking him apart, and he just weren't at the races. Done a job and knocked him out, and he stopped the fight in the corner. I mean, he didn't want to. He looked to me, he was a beaten fighter going back to the corner. When the corner pulled him out, he busted his nose up badly. So he done what he had to do, and I couldn't find any criticism for that, because he did
his job.
What he had to do was beat the guy in front of him, and going into that fight, me included, I felt that he could be in a tough fight.
Yeah.
But he made it a much easier job than I thought it would.
Were you surprised by Wilder? To me, and again, you're going to get yumped with this, but to me, it looked like Wilder turned up because Saudi money brings him there, and there was nothing left of Wilder. That was, to me, the fight of the end. I mean, Joshua must be looking at it going, why didn't I get him? I could have got him and demolished him, because he didn't. For the first two rounds, no one threw a punch, but Wilder just looked like a complete and utterly empty vessel.
Well, Wilder turned up. Of course, he turned up for the money they all get. That's what they get paid for. They're professional. But I didn't think at the end of the day, I just did. He looked like a shot fighter to me.
Yeah.
That's how he looked. And he's come out with various reasons behind the scenes, which I've heard and whatever. But, you know, the proof has to be in the pudding. And if he comes back and has another fight, he certainly couldn't have another performance like that, because it definitely will be all over him. I think he's got a big struggle to get himself back into it if he decides he wants to do that. I think he's got a big struggle, because he certainly was at racing. But having said that, you can't take away what
Joe Boxer did. Yeah.
Joe boxed extremely
No, he was
well.
brilliant.
I mean,
Yeah.
no overhand rights he was throwing. They
Yeah.
got their big spot on, and you've got to take your hat off to them for doing that.
He was brilliant, Frank. You're right. We can forget about AJ Wilder, can't we?
AJ Wilder, yeah. I mean, that to resurrect that, there's got to be some sort of outstanding performance from Wilder. And I thought Daniel Dubois proved.
I was going to say Daniel. Yeah, he did the job, didn't he? And where do you take him next, Frank?
He's going to be in I mean, look. First of all, he's had two tough training camps. One for a world title fight, and one for this one. And I've got to tell you, there was a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
And before the fight, it's unusual to say this, but before the fight, he had terrible flu, and he's just got over that. But having said that, you know, they were tough training camps. He's going to come out. He'll probably fight again in March, I hope, and he will be in with a top 10 fighter, because for him, every fight has got to be a meaningful fight. At the moment, all the organisations have got him in their top four. So, you know, he's and I think he's ready. He showed a lot of character in that fight. He did show a lot of character against somebody who comes to fight. He's a big old lump, but he's got fast hands, and he takes a shot, and he certainly pressured him all the way through the fight.
How's it looking for Tyson then? 6 weeks to go until he steps in with you. How's it shaping up?
He's in training now. He's camped set up there, so he'll be working out there until the fight. he's really up for it. He's been sparring over here. I know he's been sparring with Moses Atumio and Duama, who's one of our young prospects. He's been sparring him and a few of the other guys. They'll be going out there and joining him in the next week or so. So he's working very hard. He's mentally, all the reports back from the camp, mentally he's there and he's really up for this fight.
What sort of card, Frank, can we look forward to and obviously you've put on the fight that everybody wanted to put on, and you've orchestrated it and engineered it, and you said it 6 months ago that the game changer, and I peed all over the event. I did, Ngannou and Fury, but it was the game changer and the opener of the door to the relationship, which brings everybody to the table. But what do we expect in February? We've got Tyson headlining the bill. Do we expect an undercard as significant as the one you put together for this set of fights?
It'd be a significant undercard. Obviously, it's all, as much as the guys are getting paid extremely well. You've got to remember the main event they're getting a huge amount of money to both of them. But there will be a cracking undercard on there. There'll be some really, really, I think, significant fights on there, and it's going to be a great night. I think it'll be a fabulous night. I mean, and there are a lot of people actually travelling to go and see the fight from over here. We've had a lot of inquiries about about people going out there, so I'm looking forward to it.
What's the Saudis' reaction? Are they looking at it through the eyes of these are great events that we're putting on here, and this is going in a direction we want to go with it?
Yeah, their reaction to it is they're loving it. I mean, after the fight, we sat down with AG, and he just loves his boxing. He loved the event, sitting there. I mean, it's like, how could you not like what was happening? I mean, for a boxing fan, it's like boxing heaven. We could never put an event on like that anywhere in the world. None of us promoters could do that, and it's happening. And as I say, for the fans, I mean, what a night that was—a night of boxing, and excitement, and you couldn't be helped but blown away by it. I know Ronaldo loved it, that's for sure.
Yeah, he seemed to. And are we looking forward to some big fights in 2024, Frank? But here, in this country?
Yeah, we've got
on an atmosphere.
Copper Box on the 10th. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
He said, "Carry on, Frank."
What did he say?
With an atmosphere.
With what?
An atmosphere. He's just been cheeky. On you go, Frank.
There's a bit of atmosphere in there, I know that.
Always.
Too much turkey and puddings for you.
So what have you got for us? This
We've
side
got on the 10th.
Yeah.
We've got Hamza Shiro, cracker. Sam Noakes is also going to be in his title fight against Sylvester. We've got a cracking show. That's at Copper Box. Obviously, then we've got Tyson. We've got a couple of other shows that we're doing at York Hall. Then we're off to Birmingham, the NEC. We've got Nathan Healy defending his title. We've also got Liam Davis, McCandless. I mean, cracking British talent, and they're all getting into position to fight for big titles.
Sounds good.
Joe Joyce will be on that show. Zach Parker. Joe Joyce coming back. You want to get yourself back in the swing.
Yeah.
We Zhang out. He'll be fighting in March.
And Frank, finally, with all your experience in 2024, if it goes well for Tyson in February, will we see Tyson against AJ?
I think providing that Tyson comes through, which I believe he will, and if he keeps winning AJ, I'm sure that fight will happen.
Okay, we wish Tyson well. As always, please pass that on. Frank Warren, as always.